See us on Restream. See us on Restream. See us on Twitch.
All right.
You will.
Hey, Will. Glad you're here, man. I hope your day's going all right. Did you work today?
Hurry up, Rundgren.
Working on it, man. I'll talk about it here in a minute.
I see us on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, right on. Had the day off. Good deal.
It is not ad time. We just started.
Is it? Is it really, Nightbot? I don't think it is. No.
So, I have decided on the pre-show topic. And two.
Okay.
I'll save the other one for next week.
Might as well. Might as well.
So, someone, and I'll name the name off right as soon as I get done sending the Twitter notification.
Okay.
Isabella Rosner put together this list, and I find it fascinating. And so I want to play a little game with you for the pre-show.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna read off a name, and I need you to tell me if this is a 17th to 18th century Quaker name or a Tomino name.
Okay.
All right. So, Broadbank Plant.
Tamina.
It's not. It's a Quaker name.
Okay.
Reuben Rawbone.
Tamino.
That's also a Quaker name.
Damn. Okay.
Marvel Frozen.
That's got to be Tamino.
That's a Tomino name. Yeah. Scotting Potts.
Quaker.
That's a Quaker name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shot Weapon.
Tamino.
Yeah, that's a Tomino name. Sentence Grimes.
That's Quaker name.
That's a Quaker name. Fats Goodman.
That's Tamino.
Yeah, that's a Tomino name. Oh man. Okay, I got four more for you here.
Okay.
Experience Streddle.
That should be a Quaker name.
That is a Quaker name. Yeah.
What's up, Roxanne?
Trying to pick the best ones.
Okay.
Henneretter Herbenson.
Benson. I would say Quaker.
That is a Quaker one, yeah.
Okay.
Kazun Graham.
Tamino.
That's a Tomino name. Yep. Okay. Tassalovago.
Tamino.
That's a Tomino name. This last one, it's impossible to tell. And for reasons, but this last one is Hercules Cross.
I'm going to go with Tamino.
That answer's correct, and so is Quaker, because it's both.
Okay.
So yeah, you did really good on that, honestly.
I appreciate it.
There were some really crazy ones in there that I was like, oh, this is not fair. Like Revolution Sixsmith.
Oh, gosh.
Which is a Quaker name, but
yeah,
Tomino has a character named Rebellion Smith, I think. It's like Rebellion something Smith. I think Tomino might have found this list.
Well, like a couple of those like experience. I tell you what, you will recognize this name, and I got it from the Quakers because of the naming convention. If you remember, Honest.
Yeah.
Honest. Yeah, that was a Quaker name that I got. Like the gnomes or.
I'm gonna save this list so we can do this again sometime.
Okay.
Because there's so many more of these.
There's another list which is it a token name or is it a medication?
Ooh, that'd be really fun to play too. Yeah. Because there's so many more good ones that I didn't touch.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say them. I want to say them really badly. I'm not gonna say them. I'm gonna be good.
Right on.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Tell me no names are something wonderful and amazing.
All right.
Like that he named somebody Shot Weapon.
Yeah. Well, there's Colt, somebody.
Yeah.
Wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't met him yet, but there's a character in Gundam X named Kaduk Baddock.
Okay.
It's like, come on, man. What are you doing?
Right on.
So, yeah, you know. Yeah, also, just real quick, for those of you in the pre-show, we got a show today, but I don't want you to forget that something that I promised for a while came out today, and that's the first episode of Gundam Myth, Wilder Myth playthrough with Gundam characters.
Right on.
Really proud of that thumbnail, so hopefully people like that.
Heck yeah.
Thumbnail
Excellent.
alone took like an hour of work in Photoshop. But it was so worth it to put Camille's head on the woman in the
Yes.
in the official artwork. All right. You ready to kick this thing off?
Yes.
Okay. Go. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
We got something to talk about tonight.
Yes.
Excited. I'm really excited for some stuff that we're going to talk about that is just crazy to me. But before we get to any of that stuff,
yes,
we have a pop quiz.
Yes. I have a pop quiz. Let the world know what kind of poser you are, buddy. So tonight's pop quiz is on Digimon.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Digimon.
Also, hi, Roxanne. I'm sorry. I didn't say hi earlier.
Digimon pop quiz. Are you ready, sir?
I am.
Let me get my thing out here for you. Write down on it. Okay. Real easy one first. So what is the name of the main protagonist in the first season?
Taichi Kamiya. So Tai.
Tai, yes.
Yeah.
Very good. What about the other group of the in the first season? The rest of the group.
Okay, the rest
You
of the
got
group.
Tai.
Yeah, then
there's 7 others.
Matt, Sora, Joe, Mimi, TK, Izzy.
Oh, one more.
And Kyrie, but she joins later.
Okay, there you go. You got it. Okay. Very good. What is the name of the Digimon partner of Tai Kamiya?
Agumon!
Very good. Which Digimon is known for his fiery attacks and evolves into Greymon?
That's also Agumon.
Yeah, very good. I thought I might get you on that.
Because there's a couple different ones that do.
Yeah. What is the name of the dark and corrupted Digimon that serves as the main antagonist in the first season?
In the first season?
Yes.
Oh, man, there's a couple different ones. I'm assuming you mean Devimon, but...
That is who I mean.
Okay. Because he becomes Myotismon.
Yeah. Go see that. Okay. So, which Digimon is known for its aquatic nature and evolves into Seedramon?
That's Betamon.
Excellent, sir.
Yeah.
What is the name of the Digimon partner of Matashita, one of the original Digidestined?
Gabumon.
Gabumon, yes. Is that the way you remember it from their voices?
Yeah,
gotcha.
100%.
I love this, right? So, in the second season of Digimon, what is the name of the new group of the Digidestined?
The Digidestined.
I think is that what you're going with?
I mean, they're the second generation Digidestined. Is that? They're not actually the second generation, but they call themselves that in the first episode. Yeah. So is it Neo Digidestined?
No, it's the Digidestined of the Digidestined.
Oh, that's so dumb. I love it.
Not bad, man. You got that? Hey, Faith. So one wrong. That's all right. You got 2 more. Which Digimon has the ability to digivolve into multiple forms depending on the situation.
I feel like that's a trick question because technically that's all Digimon, but I feel like you're looking for Greymon.
No, I'm looking for Vmon.
Oh, okay, because all Digimon can do that, but
Yeah.
Vmon was the first one to show us that, really.
Yes. And this last one. What is the name of the digital world where the Digimon reside?
The digital world.
Yeah, exactly. Miney. Dang, that one quick. You missed one. Missed one. Of course, it's kind of a dumb answer. The Digidestin of the Digidestin.
Yeah, that's.
Look at that.
I do love me some Digimon. I was hoping we'd get into like Digimon Savers, where there's a guy named Masaru Daimon, named Marcus in the dub, that is canonically the strongest character in all of Digimon. Okay. Not the Digimon, the strongest characters. Right. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
He is canonically the strongest character. He punches a Royal Knight in the face, and it falls over. I love it.
I try to stick to the original cartoon.
That's fair.
The original or the first one that came out.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that was pretty good. We went through that one kind of quick, but you did very well. That was like I said, you missed one.
I know my Digimon.
Yeah, I was going to try to get you. I thought I might get you with Agumon being the same answer twice in a row, and I thought I might catch you up on the digital world one where the Digimon reside.
Yeah,
because like, is it that simple?
It is.
yes, it is.
No, you're good. We're just glad you're here. No, there was you remember the Pokedex that came out? That was like a digital Pokedex you could hold, and it was really just a calculator, but it would give you the default descriptions.
Yeah.
They made a knockoff version for Digimon. Somebody did. I don't know who, some company. And they quoted Agumon as the fire breath Digimon that digivolves to Greymon. And so when you asked that question, it was like, yeah, no, there's only one answer.
I've got this. Got this under control. Nice. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Don't get to call you a poser today.
I earned my Digimon cred. I need to have Digimon stuff. I got Digimon cards back there.
Okay.
There's that at least.
Nice. Very good, sir. Very good.
All right. Well, let's move on into weeks then. Do you want to start with Gundam or you want to come back to Gundam?
Let's start with Gundam.
Okay.
So we watched episodes 26 through 30 of Victory. So we're a little over halfway.
To the victory.
Which when we started episode 26 was kind of a solid episode for how they were going, and then it went back to normal. This makes why?
Yep.
Why would you do that?
Yep.
But I wish they would do more, or they'd done more with the Shrike team.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, yeah, these are great pilots that are off. And they're not very consistent with Marvette.
No, sure not.
Yeah, still better.
Yeah, for sure.
Char's counterattack I felt betrayed after watching that. Do that.
Like you understood the character better than Tomino did.
Yeah. It's like, dude, this isn't Char.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's on. I think that's where I'm at with these 5 episodes we watched. It seemed like they kind of got inconsistent with a few characters. Marvette being one.
Yeah.
Shakti kind of went through like this regressive period because you get introduced to her and she has some wise things to say for a girl her age to Uso, right? She's pointing out things that no adult around him would. Mm-hmm. You know, you cannot come back from this.
Yeah.
This will change you forever. You know, good, bad, or ugly, this will change you forever. And she didn't want Uso to change, obviously. But, and she kind of gets, I don't know, they bring up the whole thing about, you know, who she is, where she comes from. And that little girl, from what they've shown before, is smart enough to know what she can do with that.
Yeah.
At least in some way, you know. Not necessarily like she's going to be tricky and malicious.
Right.
But there's a key there to open a door that I think the Shakti that they gave us before would have recognized.
100%.
You know, and then over these, they just didn't. She became, okay, now we're going to write her as, you know, kind of this, this. Now we're gonna write her as a little girl,
right?
She's not gonna be thinking too much or trying to do anything. So it was a little weird.
It was
going through that. Still not the Uso thing. I liked Uso okay for a while. I thought Odello was kind of and now it's like I kind of prefer Odello.
Yeah, 100%
over Uso.
Also, can we talk about Katagina for a second? Because you have the prospect there of having a great story of, hey, let's tell the other half of what's going on here. What's happening in Zanskar? What's happening with Bespa? Let's make Chronicle more of a well-rounded character through Katagina's eyes. Right. And then suddenly, she's just shooting up a city. She's joined them. Yeah. She's fully with them now.
Right. She should not be a better pilot than Marvette.
Right. 100%.
I know Marvette was not a good pilot at first. She was struggling with it. But she kind of came into like, I can handle a Gundam battle. Yeah. Like we get Katagina in the suit for the first time. No preparation to that. She's been training or anything. And she's one-on-one with a Gundam.
She takes down the Gundam the next episode.
Takes him down. Yeah. Takes him down. That, which Chronicle couldn't do.
Right.
They sent a Chronicle. They sent, 4 at one time against Uso, and he takes them all down. He is on, he's a new type. He's on another level.
Right.
And then, for some reason, Katagina can hang with him.
Right. And I mean, he doesn't want to fight her, but he wasn't even able to get away from her when he flew, as you were talking about with the 4 that were attacking him. Pip and Eden, had him surrounded, and he flew through them like they were nothing.
Yeah. He takes 2 out in 1 or 2 moves, right? Drops a building on another. He obliterates them.
Yeah.
So it's just really inconsistent with the characters in this one. And it's not like before with Bright going from the original Gundam to going to Zeta, where it's like, okay, you have a competent captain.
Yeah.
And then you have a kind of indecisive captain. I don't know, they kind of change who he is.
Right.
I think this is in one series straight through that they're not consistent with the characters.
I don't buy that the Katagina that was upset about the destruction of Wuig and joined the Ligue Militaire to try and stop the destruction would just suddenly join up with Bespa and start shooting up residential blocks.
Yeah. Just I want to be a spy.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with you getting in a Gundam and fighting Uso. I don't know.
But congrats to Oliver and Marbet.
Right. He's always Oliver Marbet. That's a really mean thing for Uso to say, by the way.
Yep.
That's like the one time they ought have been hit that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't. I don't know, man. It has, like I said, episode 26, I thought was a pretty strong episode.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. It moved along. It told a little story in that part. And then I don't know, the rest of it's filler, I guess.
Yeah.
Or that's how it's treated when it's really not,
Also, the show can't decide what it wants its tone to be. In Double Zeta, where the tone is consistently goofy for 30 episodes. When Judo destroys that Federation meal on that balcony, and he kicks the food into the Federation guy's face, and then he escapes while they're all shooting rifles at him, and he turns around and just goes it's okay, I know what the tone of the show is. But we have one episode in Victory where Hakushaku's getting his head chopped off in a guillotine. And then we have another episode where Uso's running naked from an armed group of soldiers who can't stop him, and Haru's making machine gun noises.
Yeah. Well, I had a conversation with somebody else about this the other day. It's they don't know who. They want both audiences. They want the kids, but they want the ones that grew up with Gundam.
Yeah.
And by the time that Gundam came out, if they watched the original Gundam when they were kids, they're going to be in their 20s, close to it, right around there. Yeah. And it's no, we got to have both of them, and it doesn't consistency. It doesn't hold up. for the thing through it. So I don't know. I like. I think when we're watching it, it's like Tomino went okay for the Empire, the Ansgar Empire.
Yeah.
It's like okay, what if Moon was militaristic,
right,
and had power?
Yeah.
It's really really rough in some spots.
If Maria Ammonia can actually heal people with her new type powers, why are they even having to fight? Like,
Yeah,
that should just be a gimme.
yeah, yeah, and that they had. It's like they always kept like what exactly a new type was
Right.
a bit of a mystery. There was you kind of understood it, and they thought they could they could uh they could create a new type,
Mhm.
and it turns out that somebody goes crazy when you do that. It seems like,
Right.
and then they've kind of I don't know all these like new little things in there about what a new type power
Yeah.
is. And it does, like I said, I think consistency is the biggest thing with Victory. If they don't have it straight through, and like the rip-offs that Domino's doing from the cartoons that were around at the time are blatant, and unnecessary. The like I said, Mask would have been a couple years before that,
right,
and everything. But the bikes, the helicopters, the wheels, that's all straight out of that. What did MASS stand for? It was an acronym.
I don't remember. While you look that up, we've already talked about Muldoon and Macross.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Gundam can be in like mid-shift form, Gestalt form, as you call it in Macross, is like, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
We did at least get introduced to the new Gundam in this, the V2.
Right. Right.
And I feel like we at least need to mention it's got a good design, I think. It's cool. I think the fact that it came out of the gate with a bunch of new weapons that we'd never heard of before was
it's
suspect.
like the canon that was straight out of the Aliens movie.
Yeah.
As looking, biological, but it was the big cannon.
Yeah,
they fire it. It solved a lot of problems with one shot.
Yeah.
It's like, how long has the thing been sitting in space and nobody's fired it?
Yeah. Well, Zanskar had it, but they shot down Federation cruisers with it. They never shot the Earth like one time just to be like, look, no, surrender.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that we only have one surviving member of the Shrike team at this point, that is like, there are 2 Shrike team deaths so far that I'm like, okay, that was pretty good with some caveats. Junko's is the closest to not needing any caveats. I think hers of like trying to stop the bomb, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
And failing to do it, like that's tragedy for me. But she could have just reached down and pulled the bomb off from her. Like, I know her mobile suit didn't move anymore, but Uso was right there. Uso, just pull it off and throw it. No.
No, now I can't find it. Because the bad guys in the Math cartoon were called Venom.
Yeah.
And that was like villain something. They were terrible.
Yeah.
Kind
of like large chunks of victory. I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. But it makes so many missteps that I can't like it either.
Right. Mobile Armored Strike Command.
There you go.
Command with a K.
Yeah. Disappointed indeed.
Disappointed.
Rundgren team. Yeah. Not the Shrike team, the Rundgren team.
Rundgren team, yes.
Yeah.
We will rule the world.
I want to like it. I want it to explain things. I want it not to go, hey, here's Uso's mom and her last name's Miguel, and that's all you need, right, viewer? That's all you need to know who this kid is. No, I need more than that, Tomino. I need something.
And then the teaching of the knife throwing.
Yeah.
Great scene. If you had done that much earlier, like as a flashback, and had that come up somewhere, it might be kind of cool. By the way, Venom is Vicious Evil Network of Mayhem.
Nice. That's a good name.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good name.
Vicious Evil.
Like it.
Terrible acronyms.
I'm hoping Oh, I forgot. There's one more thing we had to talk about. Victory. We're already in the end game. There's 20 episodes to
It feels
go.
like it, yeah.
And we've already had the assault on the enemy base, met the queen, figured out what's going on there. She's relayed a secret message to the main character. They've rescued Shakti. There's no more drama to go, right? Just go beat Zanskar, be done with it.
Yeah. I don't know. They did over this 5. You see, there's a schism between the queen and the military.
Yeah.
It's like she's lost her power, not lost new type power, but lost her, her power at some point. It's been taken over. Mm-hmm. There's some stuff where the old bald guy will be like, no, I overrule you.
Yeah.
But I think could use a little more showing, but it's one of the actual things that comes through is Chronicle is loyal to the queen.
Right.
Not Zanskar military per se.
For sure.
But it definitely could be better. Like I said, I think if they had targeted it just for kids, it's like, okay, I can understand that. I'll watch it with that mindset.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes, I don't know, like I said, between the two, they want the children and the teens. And it just doesn't.
Don't be wishy-washy.
Yeah. It goes back and forth. So, once again, the suits look great. The battles look cool. Yeah.
Like the wings of light. Those are cool. Wings of light are cool.
Just a second.
But, yeah, no worries. But ultimately, even though the wings of light are cool, what are those beam rotor things that it just throws out? I want to like Victory so bad, but it makes no sense half the time. You have Uso captured by the bad guys, and instead of them going like, hey, we're gonna figure out a way to make you talk, we're not gonna use violence, we want to be sweet, it's, I'm gonna bring this underage boy into this bathtub and get in there naked with him so that I can try to drown him. Well, why? You could have just, what are you doing? Why would you try to drown him in a bathtub? What are you doing? Why'd you get in with him?
Get him on their side. That's the way it works, right?
I guess so. Yeah, that happens, Faith. That's it. That's a plot point in Victory Gundam, is a woman attempts to use, I guess, her body and water to convince Uso to fight for them.
Yeah.
He cops a full feel at one point, but I'm not sure he really understood or appreciated what he was doing, because he was desperately trying not to die.
Right?
Or, like, defeat Gundam. He does lose a lot, actually. He's been captured how many times now?
Yeah. How many? And like the separating the suits to get away or get out of something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, like once or twice.
Yeah.
That should not be your main tactic.
Lost so many legs.
Yeah. So many.
All right. Well, we'll have more to say about Victory in the weeks to come.
I'm sure we will.
Let's move into weeks. How's your week been, sir?
It's been okay. It's been okay. I watched, I don't know if I already talked about this, but I watched Werewolf by Night.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty good, actually. I like the setup. It is part of the Marvel, part of the MCU.
Right.
It's all black and white. It gives a lot of nods to like old filming tactics, stuff that it's got Man-Thing in it too. I thought was really cool.
Nice.
That might have been a spoiler. I don't know, but it was it was more enjoyable to me than a lot of the other Marvel movies that they tried a lot harder on.
Yeah.
And they pulled a good switch on me, because I thought that it starts with some kind of tropes, like the girl shows up, and the leader of this group has died. She shows up. She's the daughter. Like, oh, we're so disappointed on her. She's like, I hate daddy. Got daddy issues. I'm like, all right, here we go. This is pretty standard, but it ends up being a little bit more than that, and they go into it very well.
Nice.
It's not a bad show, and I think it stands on its own. You don't need the whole rest of the MCU.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
Okay.
So, but it wasn't bad. We had a good time on Lotro.
Yeah.
Yesterday. That's always fun.
I got even stronger.
Yeah, it did.
I really like leveling up those legendary weapons. That's a good feeling.
That's kind of it is. That's a nice little addition to the game. I think it was really good when they put in there. And then you got quite a few things on your reward track already, didn't you?
Yeah, I had like 9 levels already unlocked on that. So
nice. You're building up to that. I'm trying to think of anything else. No, not much really. Not much really. What's going on? I kept kind of chill. Been kind of cleaning and taking care of children.
Yeah.
It's
understandable.
We've been full of. So with that said, how has your week been?
My week's been pretty good. It's kind of been a busy one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Ad time is in 5 minutes, Nightbot. You're a little early. But also, for what it's worth, I did delay the ad so we could talk Gundam. So I'm not blaming you, Nightbot.
Yeah, okay.
I have been working my way through Xenos, which is a Warhammer 40k book. It's the first in the Eisenhorn books, which is one of the Inquisitors, Mr. Eisenhorn. And he's pretty cool guy. It's almost as if you took like the 40k setting and went, hey, the Inquisitors are kind of nuts. Like, they're all just a little bit too much because they all believe in the Emperor as a god. Whereas a lot of the citizens do too, you know, but the Space Marines know he's not for the most part, and the Custodians know he's not, you know. But what if you had a couple of Inquisitors that just were kind of normal people that had got up in there? So he's still like, he's better than a regular person in a lot of ways. Like, he's got psychic abilities and things like that. But he's just a detective. Like, when it comes down to it, he's just trying to solve his case.
Very nice.
And so he's got this crew of different people with him that all have different skills and abilities, you know, and he pulls off these different heists and these different, like, maneuvers and different disguises to be able to get in and find his prey and try to stop him from bringing in the Chaos Gods and things like that. And it's just nice to have a crazy person as a main character in a 40. Because I know if you go to, like, the Necron books, they're not crazy. Well, some of them, but most of them are not crazy. And if you go to the Orc books, they're sane in their own weird way. And a lot of the Space Marine books are just like, hey, we're big, tough guys going to solve this problem, probably going to die in the process. Kind of depressing in a lot of ways. Whereas a lot of the, like, guard books are, you know, the Emperor will save us. The Emperor is here. And, you know, they're full on committed to the worship of the Emperor, which that's fun sometimes to read as well. But it's nice to get, like, a little slice of this world where it's, hey, yeah, this is just a guy who is breaking into a hotel to try and find his man that he's hunting down, and he finds a prostitute and doesn't kill her because he doesn't immediately assume that she's given into chaos just because she's in the building.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and he finds the guy and he doesn't instantly kill him because, hey, exterminate heresy. He goes, hey, what do you know? If you tell me what you know, I'll make it quick.
Right.
It's like, hey, that's great. It's wonderful to have a character that makes sense. Because I love the Inquisitors that are just like, you know, hey, yeah, no, that building, there's heretics in that building. All right, let me just right there. And then, hold on a second. Building explodes. Problem solved. There's fun in that, too, you know?
Yeah.
But it's nice to have a detective story in the 40k universe, and I'm really excited. There's a book I want to read after I finish this one called The Watcher in the Rain, which is a horror story.
Which is a what story?
A horror story in the 40k universe, where one of the alien species that is not playable on the tabletop, because how would you make rules for it, which is a species that can move through any shadow and appear and hunts only humans. Hunts for some children that are trying to escape, and it's told from the perspective of the children. And
interesting.
That sounds like a cool read. I like that. So there's that. And then I've been watching King Oger, which is the new Sentai series.
Okay.
It's very good so far. It has a very different cast than you'd expect because all the main characters are kings. And so, as compared to like, hey, here's 5 people in modern day that all team up together. This is a fantasy world, and they're each kings of their own kingdom, and all 5 kingdoms have a quintet alliance to fight off these enemies called Bugnarok. And it's cool. They're not what you'd expect. The Blue Ranger is like the Yankee king. He's the one who has the pompadour and, does this. And when he drinks the soda, he drinks it like this. And he goes, ah, when he talks to people. And then the Yellow Ranger, she is the king of her nation, because they don't use the word queen. They just use the word king. But probably for the alliteration, I guess, or King Oger. But she's a doctor with like hyper advanced technology. And then the king of the Japanese themed kingdom is a kabuki style guy that always speaks with like the extra sentences and extra flowery language, but he's also a filthy liar and will trick anybody to get what he wants. The king of the ice place, the Purple Ranger, which is, you don't get Purple Rangers very often, so that's cool. She is the judge.
Of red and blue, right?
Right, yeah. She is the judge for the entire Quintet Alliance, and will just like straight up tell you, yeah, you're going to jail for 6 months. I decided that based on the evidence. But she'll like sneak away into her own room to talk to her stuffed animals because the pressure's too much for her. And then the Red Ranger is like, I don't want to spoil too much. He is not the king of that kingdom, but instead he wants to, he has decided to become the king of that kingdom because the king's not doing his job. And so he's become the Dark Tyrant to try and take over the kingdom. But he's actually like a really nice guy, and it's just an act to try and make people believe that he's this dark monster so that they won't hunt down people that help him. It's really good so far. I'm about 7 episodes in. There's 11 episodes out right now. If you like Sentai and you haven't watched Sentai in a while because it was getting kind of formulaic for you, I recommend King Ocher for sure. I'll have a full video up when I'm caught up of my early impressions on the show, because there's going to be like 40 episodes, so there's still got a ways to go.
Okay. I did see something this week that made me happy. Somebody deep faked. Austin Powers. The scene with Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
When it gets Mini-Me, right? They introduce him. He's exactly like you, but 1/8 your size. Somebody had deep faked Arnold Schwarzenegger onto Dr. Evil.
Pretty good.
And for that, it made I wanted to see that version of the movie.
Yeah.
I'd watch it again, just put Schwarzenegger in right there.
That'd have been pretty great.
It was amazing for that. Forgot about that one. I need to bring it up.
Yeah.
Bring it up.
I've also still been watching Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I think we're almost done with season 2 so far. We're 6 episodes in, I believe, to season 2. And it's getting pretty good.
Hold on. I can do this without putting out any spoilers. Have you seen any Hobbits?
No.
Okay. Or you seen it? Somebody who played a Hobbit, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Good old Samwise Gamgee.
Yes. Excellent.
It's real good so far, and I am fully invested in this world and what's going on in it.
I think it's got a really good setup. The way they do it and how it interacts, I like it quite a bit.
Yeah.
The intrigue.
And nobody makes like stupid decisions because the story has to move forward that way. They make believable decisions.
Yes.
They're still stupid decisions, but it's decisions people would make.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's not like there's not one of the things where like there's not a person on the planet that would do that at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
like, okay, I can see that. That might be not the smartest decision, but I can see why you thought to do that.
Yeah. 100%. And then game-wise, I'm still working on Chained Echoes. I'm in the final chunk of that, in the final story sections. I thought I was going to get to finish it before Tears of the Kingdom came out. I didn't quite get there. So, gonna try and finish it, but I just want to be playing Tears of the Kingdom. I mentioned earlier that I've been reading Xenos. I should clarify, I've been listening to Xenos, the audiobook, because
okay.
just been playing Zelda.
I haven't touched it yet. One of my kids is playing it. A couple of them are. They share the cartridge. I got one right now. And every time I walk by, it's like I'm not watching, not looking.
Well, I have not looked for funnel spam. I've just been playing Zelda. But real quick on Chained Echoes, I got the only complaint I have with this game, and I'll talk about it more in the review for people that want spoilers. So I'm gonna keep it spoiler light. There's a lot of really cool characters that you get right at the end of the game.
Okay.
And I get partly why, like some of them story-wise, right? But other ones, they could have moved them forward like an act, where the characters you get in Act 2, you get towards the end of Act 1. The characters you get in Act 3, you get in Act 2. The characters that you get in Act 4, you get in Act 3. And then the story characters you get in Act 4, you could get in Act 4 still.
Okay.
Because you go through all of Act 1 without a full... Because you can have a full playable, like, in-game team of 8. And you go through all of Act 1 without a team of 8. And you get into Act 2. By the time you finish Act 2, you can have 7. You still don't have 8. And Act 3, you finally get to 8. But by that point, I'm already pretty much set with what my main party is. They've got all their skills maxed out. They're doing really cool stuff. I don't necessarily need those new characters. And then, like, in Act 3, you get 3 characters. Like, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, okay, well, would have rather had those spaced out a little bit. But this is the person's first game. So, you know, I'm willing to cut them some slack on that. But by the time I got the characters in Act 4 that are cool characters, I kind of didn't need them. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it goes.
We'll see. But still a really good game. I absolutely love the mech combat in it, as you might expect.
I'm sure you do, sir.
And then finally for my week, Tears of the Kingdom. Not going to talk too much about it because I don't want to spoil anything for you because you haven't got to touch it yet. I will just say it is more of Breath of the Wild, but with cool stuff added. And that cool stuff makes it where I don't think I can go back to Breath of the Wild because of how similar the games are in a lot of ways without wanting that new stuff.
Yeah.
And Breath of the Wild...
Did you load it?
Oh, go ahead.
Did you have your Breath of the Wild, all your horses?
I did not bring those over. No, I chose not to.
Fair enough.
I wanted to be forced to explore on foot until I could find a horse, you know. Cool. I did play around with a bunch of the amiibos because the amiibos in the first game gave you some really broken stuff. And I wasn't necessarily... I wasn't planning on using a lot of that broken stuff, but I wanted to know. I wanted to know if they were going to make that choice again. And thankfully, they didn't. The amiibos don't give you broken stuff. A lot of them just give you extra like options for skins, right? I guess you could say. And then a lot of food. You can gather all that food yourself, but if you don't want to gather the food once a day, hit all those amiibos on there, get you a bunch of food.
I think I saw a thing. Like I said, I've been avoiding stuff, but I think I saw a thing where they were getting some more of them.
I'm sure. Amiibos. I'm sure. And those might come with more stuff. And I don't have the Breath of the Wild Link with the bow amiibo, so I don't know if he gives you something. But I'll turn my chair, and you can see I've got amiibos for a bunch of these here. For Zelda amiibos, the Guardian and the Champions, and so I tried all of those. But Breath of the Wild for me was a top 5 game of all time. It replaced A Link to the Past for me, which has been my favorite Zelda game for all of my life, basically.
Yeah.
This is better.
Okay. That's not quite what I'm hearing from the experts I have in the living room.
Yeah.
For them, it's good. It's not better than Breath of the Wild, but it is different.
I think it all comes down to the additions for me. The stuff that I can do with the new additions makes it where I can just not go back.
Yeah.
Like, Breath of the Wild is almost perfect. I'm not going to say these new additions make it perfect. Tears of the Kingdom. But I will say that It's like if I went to a restaurant and you gave me a great meal, but only gave me a fork. Yeah. And I enjoyed that meal, and it was wonderful, and I didn't know I needed anything else. But then the next time I go back to that restaurant 6 years later, you don't just give me the meal, you give me a fork, and you give me a knife, and you give me a spoon, and you give me a side of toast, and you give me some napkins, and you give me a drink. I can't go back anymore.
Right. Okay.
So, I'm being as vague as possible.
No, I get it. Like, there's a couple of hardcore gamers in there that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But
I'll get my chance at it here pretty soon.
I'm also still really early on. I'm about probably 15 hours in.
Yeah.
And oh man, I can't say that. Let me say instead, I don't see how it could let me down at this point. But it could. It's huge. So it's possible I just haven't seen some of the stuff that people have problems with either. But
Chapter 2, Tamino takes over.
Right, yeah, unfortunately.
With the script. That's what
yeah, and suddenly, you know, hey, here's Fast Goodman and Shot Weapon. But yeah, that's been my week.
Very good.
So let's get into reviews.
All right.
And unfortunately, I have to take Will off the Ice Cream Wall of Fame. Gonna earn it again this week, Will.
Yes.
Our first review for a game called Lego 2K Drive.
Lego 2K Drive?
Yes. So I pulled up the website on this one, which says in Lego 2K Drive, your awesome transforming vehicles give you the freedom to speed seamlessly across riveting racetracks, off-road terrain, and open waters. Get behind the wheel and gear up for tons of open-world exploration and thrilling races. Take on the exciting story mode, jump into a single race or Cup Series tournaments, and let loose in off-the-wall minigames. Master the art of drifting, boosting, and using power-ups to claim victory.
Okay. It reminds me, when you're starting to talk about that, I immediately thought there was a Sonic racing game.
Yeah, Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed.
Yeah, where you go through, you hit water, you're a boat. You hit this one part, you're a plane. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with 82.
Okay.
We'll get a very high score.
Yeah.
Warily with the 86. A couple more in. 73.
Wow, okay. There we go. That makes more sense.
I give it a 36 out of a 42.
Out of 14 reviewers, score is 72.
Okay. Just 10 points off. That's all right. I understand, Faith.
Almost started singing In the Bedroom Down the Hall from Dear Evan Hansen.
I thought of Kids in the Hall, but
that's fair.
I don't know anybody else old enough to think of that.
So, press start says Lego 2K Drive is a wildly impressive triple threat of a great Lego game, a great open world adventure, and a great racing game. Whether you want to challenge your friends in slick and exciting head-to-head races, tackle a hefty single-player campaign stuffed with varied and plentiful content, or just spend hours building your own Lego vehicles by the brick, you're absolutely covered here. A couple of issues aside, this is easily the best multi-platform arcade racer around.
Okay.
However,
I know you would, Faye. I love Kids in the Hall.
The gamer says, there's a lot here for a young kid to enjoy, especially one who is tuned into Lego. The tracks have solid variety, both in terms of aesthetics, obstacles, and various challenges, like lacking destructible items to fill the boost bar, but it barely matters when you'll win every race until you hit a progression wall that asks you to grind out cash generation or pay to skip it and then start winning again. It's creative, but it's also a bit of a mess. Lego 2K Drive mixes Forza Horizon and Mario Kart together, but it's not as good as either of them and doesn't bring much new to the table either. There are building blocks here for Lego to use for future IP-less games, but that doesn't quite put them all together in a way that will interest anyone who isn't still in primary school. Can you go back for a second, reviewer, and talk more about having to pay money to skip a wall? That seems like a bigger issue.
Lego's an IP.
Yeah.
Lego puts out a game, it's going to be an IP.
Right.
I'm not sure what they meant by that.
Yeah.
I kind of got the gist of the thing though.
Yeah. That was the only one that mentioned the progression wall, so I was like, well, I feel like we should bring that up here.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he's the only one that made it that far.
Maybe. Would be.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
76. What was it? 72, 83. We have 86 from Waverly. I got a 76.
Score is 50%.
Oh, wow. I didn't think it'd be that rough.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be that low. That's kind of rough.
So that was our first review for the night. We have two more.
Okay.
Second review for the night is a game called Humanity. I have the Steam description for you. A unique blend of puzzle solving and action platforming. Play a lone Shiba Inu charged with commanding massive marching crowds to the goal in story mode, or browse a wide array of user-made levels crafted via the in-game stage creator, and it runs in both standard and VR modes.
Okay. I'm going to skip my last, but I'm going to go 76.
Okay.
Will's got a 77 there.
And 78 from Faith as well.
Yeah.
That was before the Shiba Inu was revealed. Does that change the score?
It might make it worse, actually. Go ahead.
The score is nope. The score is 85.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I have a couple reviews for you.
Excellent.
It was close. It's close, Waverly.
Yeah.
Game Pit says, as with every other game I've played from Enhance developers, I was in love with Humanity as soon as I started playing it. The puzzles are challenging yet very satisfying when you work out the solution on your own, watching as hundreds or thousands of tiny humans shuffle around the floating stage, following your commands religiously, even if it means they'll end up jumping off the edge into oblivion. Incredible soundtrack enhances the experience, and VR adds another level of immersion to this truly unique and mesmerizing puzzle game.
Okay.
The Gamer says, however, if you don't care about the story and you just want a really good puzzler, Humanity might be for you. Apart from over 90 story levels, the game has a stage creator function that allows users to submit their own levels. This gives you a huge number of levels to access even after you finish the game, giving it a much longer shelf life. You can also play it in VR. I chose not to do this because VR gives me migraines, but the visual of the games are pretty cool and worth seeing in VR if you already own a headset. I wish Humanity's marketing had focused more on the puzzles than its story, because it's fairly clear to me which is stronger, and I came away a little disappointed. The game's mechanics evolve very well with the story's narrative, and it's a lot of fun. I'm just not sure its story was worth telling.
Ooh, okay.
Which is harsh, but...
Yes, you were very close. All right. I'll give you a score of 79.
Humanity. Okay, 79, 82, 86, I'm sure. Score is 88%.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, that game's a lot stronger than I thought it would be.
Pretty high score. Pretty high score.
Yeah, not bad.
And then, finally for reviews, we have the big one for this week. We have Tears of the Kingdom.
99.
All right.
Let's go with it for the popularity of it. So.
What do you think, chat?
Start it out there.
Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, sequel to Breath of the Wild.
It might be in the 80s. It might be. 96. Yeah. 73. Ooh.
Score is 97.
Okay. It came real close on that. Another, yes, right?
So close.
Very close.
really hard to find a good blurb that didn't spoil anything.
I bet.
Because there was some great blurb, and I might wind up, because I'm kind of torn on it, I might wind up just reading one of the blurbs but skipping over the spoiler. But I found one that I'm pretty confident with, but I need you to know that it comes from Nintendo Life, and it's a Nintendo game. So as always, Nintendo Life gives pretty high scores to Nintendo games. But I think this blurb is pretty good.
Okay.
Which says, it's impossible to talk about everything that makes The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom so incredible, and making many of these discoveries yourself is part of the magic. It's also impossible to overstate just how much there is to do in Hyrule this time around. Much like its predecessor, this is your playground for the next however many years to come, with a little sprinkling of that older Zelda fairy dust mixed into the Breath of the Wild's formula. Glorious, triumphant sequel to one of the best video games of all time. Absolute unfiltered bliss to lose yourself in for hundreds of hours. We can't wait to see what the world will do with the game.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Right. I can't either, honestly. I can't wait to see what people do with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's still, it's like Skyrim and Breath of the Wild. There's still things that people are discussing. Like there was I saw a thing for Breath of the Wild the other day where a guy stasis the rocked, got it set, and ran over and talked to one of the disguised assassins.
Yeah.
And he timed it just perfectly. So when it popped up the assassin with a sword, the boulder just came flying in from off screen and clobbered him.
Nice.
You know Breath of the Wild was originally supposed to be on the Wii U?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Nintendo made a switch.
So I do have one more review for you here.
All right.
This is from But Why, though.
Okay.
Who says, for the right kind of player, someone who just wishes to explore and live in a gorgeously designed fantasy setting, the game will offer countless hours of enjoyment. That's me. I'm that guy that just wants to explore a cool fantasy setting.
I've been playing Lord of the Rings Online for 16 years.
Right, yeah, exactly. Okay. However, if you're like me, and when you are presented with a quest to undertake, you simply wish to follow that quest in a way that feels fluid and rewarding, this game has some huge hurdles to overcome. I think you could literally just take that and plate that on Breath of the Wild as well, but I don't disagree. This is the kind of game that's designed for the moment-to-moment gameplay over the story.
Yeah.
And so I understand why that could be a flaw for a lot of people, but...
Okay.
What do you think?
92. 92. Okay. I don't think it was dropped that much. I think the folks with it even know.
Sticking with it?
Oh.
Nobody scored so far. Let's see if anybody can get it at the last mile.
Okay.
Score is...
What will it be?
100%.
100% recommend it. Okay. Okay. I'm not comfortable with giving any game a 100.
Right.
But I figured, yeah. I guess they recommended it.
Yeah. If I had to name a flaw without spoiling anything that this game has, it's that it's much harder than the previous game.
Okay.
There are ways to balance that out, but man, is it difficult right off the bat.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, as somebody
to think about there
who loves Souls games, that's not really a problem for me. But, you know,
yeah,
I understand that would be a flaw for a lot of people. And that's not me trying to go like, I'm better. No, it's that, you know, the Souls franchise has made me a masochist, and so I can just put up with it.
Fair enough.
It's not to that level, but it is definitely hard.
I wonder how Ganon's going to look in this one. But I know Ganon hates the internet. Way too many links.
Yep. Let's move into announcements.
Excellent. Okay.
Got your favorite news of the week right here. Amazon.
No. I will not cuss. 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 Go ahead.
Amazon is making a new Lord of the Rings MMO.
Damn it.
There's nothing wrong with Lotro, Amazon. It's a great game.
This is the second time they've tried this.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not counting New World and all that. This
right.
is the second Lord of the Rings game they've tried to do. So through that, I did find one thing funny about this story.
Yeah.
at how quick that they were to say, "Oh, ha ha ha!" Yes, it did. Ha ha! It's got nothing to do with the Rings of Power. Okay, nothing at all.
Yeah,
nothing at all. It's not linked to that in any way. It's not set with that in any way. No characters from that will be in it. It's not about Rings of Power at all. Which I don't know if they go with, because Lord of the Rings. See, that's the thing. Because they want the name Lord of the Rings.
Like, they do.
Lord of the Rings are line. You're going along with the books.
Yes.
You start where the beginning of the books are, and it goes to the end and a little bit beyond.
Yeah.
Right? And even to some of the appendices a little bit. So, if they go back, okay, like, hey, we're going to set this in the Second Age.
Right.
That might be something to look at. But if it's just going to be, but that's not Lord of the Rings.
Right.
That's,
I agree.
It should be called the Silmarillion Online.
Right.
That might have my attention.
There's also a few worrying things about the way they word things here.
Yeah.
Specifically, they say the upcoming game will be an open-world MMO adventure in a persistent world set in Middle-earth, featuring the beloved stories of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings literary trilogy.
Yeah.
What do you mean open-world MMO?
All right, sorry. I got my bristles up on trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, no. You mentioned The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Hobbit's his own book.
Right.
You can call the Lord of the Rings a trilogy. That's fine. Because that's what they publish it as. It's actually 6 books, but it's,
Right. I don't like the idea of open world MMO as a phrase.
I don't know what that means. Because when I think of an MMO, unless it's like, aren't they all open world?
Right.
Since Ultima Online, Online, EverQuest, World of Warcraft, over and over again, Star Wars Galaxy, all that. That's all open world. It's not.
You cross a zone line, you're in the next zone. You can go to zones you should not be in.
Right. And you can go to those beyond it if you can make it over that one,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's too buzzwordy for me.
It reminds me a lot of, and unsurprising because it's made by the same team, New World, and how it was built as an open world MMO.
Yeah.
Like, go anywhere, do anything. But I can already do that in MMOs. What do you mean?
I don't understand.
One of the most fun things to do in MMOs is to go somewhere you shouldn't be yet and survive. Or die horribly and go like, yeah, I deserve that one. That thing was 40 levels higher than me.
Yeah.
But
I got it.
I've got some quotes here for you from them. We've committed to bringing players high-quality games, whether through original IPs or long-beloved ones like Lord of the Rings.
Look, you're offering Prime benefits on Genshin Impact right now.
Right, yeah. And you made New World. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Bringing players a fresh take on the Lord of the Rings has long been an aspiration for our team, and we're honored and grateful that Middle-earth Enterprises is entrusting us with this iconic world. We're also pleased to be expanding our relationship with Embracer Group following our Tomb Raider deal last year, as they've proven to be excellent collaborators. So I guess we can expect a Tomb Raider game at some point, too.
Maybe.
This one's going to make you mad. This quote. The world of Middle-earth continues to prove an endlessly fertile ground for creators, and Amazon Games has a passion for building immersive, compelling worlds and publishing games for a global audience. Like New World? Like, is that what you're referencing?
I don't know. Yeah.
The game that flopped?
Yeah, I'm not very fond of where this may be going.
Yeah.
If we're going to get the game out, it's going to be like this with new characters. Like, well, that's all we had the rights for, so we decided that we had to fill in.
They go on to talk about how
they're going to make the game that Togan wished he could have made, right?
Yeah, and how they know they can pull this off because they made New World and Lost Ark, both games that have seen a massive drop in player base.
And New World had a horrible launch.
Right, and you could break the in-game economy server side.
Yeah.
Then Lost Ark was so grindy that people could not continue playing it because if you didn't pay money, you couldn't get anywhere.
What was there was a bug in New World that something about, we talked about the car growing in the definitive editions when you shake it. There was a bug in New World about shaking the screen.
You could fly.
Okay.
You're not supposed to be able to fly in that game. You can fly.
Yeah.
And they finish it all off by saying, separately, Amazon Studios produces the hit series The Lord of the Rings of Power for Prime Video, which takes place during Tolkien's Second Age of Middle-earth and is unrelated to this upcoming MMO game in development. So you mentioned it earlier. Yeah. I just wanted to read the quote.
Yeah, Rings of Power has nothing to do with the Second Age.
Yeah.
Nothing that happens in that show resembles anything from the Second Age of Middle-earth.
Yeah.
From the Silmarillion or any of the appendices.
Also, I don't understand why make a new Lord of the Rings MMO when there already is one that's doing well, that the player base has jumped up. Why not just try to get in on that and get some of that pie?
I'm very proud of a lot of the players. A lot of people play Lotro. They're like, this is completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
If there wasn't one out there, they would probably have. I would probably get some excitement. But,
yeah.
A little bit, not much.
Right.
I don't trust them very well, but yeah, the Lord of the Rings Online, and I you can call me biased if you want to, but that is the best interpretation of being in Middle Earth.
Yeah, 100%.
Any game or show that they put out. We're going across that. There's all kinds of little Easter eggs in there. Small things set in different places.
Yeah.
Like it would be one line in the book, like there was something beside this campfire.
Yeah.
And when you find that campfire,
there it
you
is.
go by it, the bottom of it, and like say the campsite at the end, bottom of Weathertop, there's a stack of wood there, and there's this this other thing there.
Yeah.
Where there's another part where you can find Pippin's his tobacco pouch.
Yeah.
Because he lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giants that are stones. There's so much in there. It's completely unnecessary to make a new one.
The trolls, right? The ones in yeah.
Like, for as much as I may complain during Immo Mondays about how Moria is huge and it takes a long time to get through there, that's Moria, right? Like that.
Right.
They took the time to model out Moria.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. You cannot convince me Amazon's going to do that for this game.
Yeah, no.
Moria is going to be 3 zone lines, and there you go. So yeah, that's that announcement. This next one is short. There's not really much to say about it because we don't know much, but it's an announcement, right?
Yeah.
Hawken Reborn is coming. If anybody doesn't remember Hawken, you're forgiven for that. Hawken was a really good online shooter. It's a mech game.
This is not the town in Stranger Things or the Wintergreen.
Right. No, it's not. It was a really fun online PvP mech game. But it didn't make it more than 3 years, maybe 4.
Yeah.
And the servers had to get shut down. Some people ran some private servers to keep it going, but it never got big acclaim or anything. Hawken Reborn is single player. I don't know if I like that more or not, because it means that I'll be able to play it basically forever.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked the old PvP. Maybe they'll add a PvP later. We don't know. But that's all we really... They dropped a 40-second release trailer, and that's it. All the information we got. So, more to come later, I guess. And then finally, for announcements today, we have Game Pass games. Because they add them all throughout the month now, not just at the start of the month. So, available today on console and PC through EA Play is FIFA 23. Kind of a big get.
That is for... That's, that's a worldwide game. FIFA is.
Then we have Eastern Exorcist coming to console and PC. A fictitious Eastern world with an infestation of vicious demon monsters. Play as an exorcist against chaotic evil to fight your way through the brutal world.
Okay.
Could be cool. Yeah. Ghost Lore coming to console. Available now with PC Game Pass already. Ghost Lore is an East Punk action RPG where you fight monsters from the Southeast Asian folklore, inspired by timeless classic RPGs such as Diablo 2 and Titan Quest. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Planet of Lana is day one, console and PC. It is a cinematic puzzle adventure. Lana and her companion Mui go on a voyage of discovery that will take them across the strange and magical world they call their home. Really cool looking art style on this one. Then Cassette Beast is coming to console May 25th. That is a really fun monster collecting game. I did a first impressions on it. Soundtrack is incredible, but specifically it is the actual track, not just it's all the vocal tracks are so good.
Okay.
Love that so far. That's the best part of that game for me so far. Maybe the gameplay itself will get better. It's not like it's bad, but that's how good those vocal tracks are. This is my favorite part of the game by far so far.
Yeah.
A lot of fars. Massive Chalice is next. Cloud and console, May 25th. This is a tactical strategy game set on an epic timeline for Double Fine Productions. The immortal ruler of the nation, you take command of its heroes, forge heroic marriages to strengthen your bloodlines, and battle a mysterious enemy known as the Cadence in a 300-year war. I remember when this game was first Indiegogo'd.
I think I've tried this game.
I'm sure. It's been out for a long time, and there was a lot of pushback when they dropped the Indiegogo to go to a special boosting site where they could crowdfund, because Fig, that's what it was called, because some of the developers had stake in Fig. Yeah. And so it was a big thing. The game seemed cool though. I always wanted to play it, just never did. So
yeah.
Railway Empire 2, cloud console and PC on May 25th. This is day one. It is the sequel to Railway Empire. Grow your company into the largest railway company of the continent. Outsmart your competitors as you connect cities and companies with an ever-expanding network of rail lines, bridges, and tunnels.
Okay.
Cool. And then finally, Chicory, A Colorful Tale, console and PC on May 30th. Chicory is an incredible game. It's a top-down adventure game in a coloring book world where you can draw on anything and use your painting powers to explore new places, solve puzzles, help your friends, and change the world. And it has incredible boss fights.
Okay. All right, then.
But if things are coming to Game Pass, that means things are leaving.
Yeah.
Europa Universe Solace is leaving on the 31st, which is pretty new, so that's kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
Evil Genius 2 World Domination is leaving on the 31st. FIFA 21's leaving on the 21st or 31st. Of course it is. You just got FIFA 23.
Right.
Floppy Nights is leaving, and Lawn Mowing Simulator is leaving.
Okay.
No,
not Lawn Mowing Simulator.
And then we move into the news. So, EU Commission has approved Microsoft acquisition of Activision, which means that currently the only government in the world that is saying no is the UK. Because the US isn't saying no, it's saying, hey, we don't know yet.
Right.
But it's just the UK that said no. Everybody else now has said sure, or let's think about it a little more. There's a couple things about this that I think are really interesting. They did a full investigation. Of course they did, right? The EU Commission. And after the in-depth investigation, they came up with pretty much, hey, this will be fine except for a couple things. So they have a couple small things that they want, concessions they want made. And they made like a slideshow. And the slide about the concessions is incredible. Because it has 2 SNES controllers. Like stylized, but SNES controllers that are very obviously mirrored, so one of them has the buttons on the wrong side.
Right.
And Activision Blizzard Games has a monitor on it that has Super Mario World on it.
Okay.
It's wonderful. But the concessions are they want free license access to all Activision games for cloud game streaming providers and users. They don't just want the cloud services to be limited to what Microsoft owns. Right. They want Microsoft to still allow opportunities for innovation with Microsoft, with Activision Blizzard, and they want to prevent barriers for competitors trying to use cloud software to play Activision Blizzard games. Will Microsoft take that deal? Honestly, I feel like they probably will because from what I can tell, they're not buying them to dominate the cloud gaming market in the UK or in the EU.
Yeah, right.
But the commission is very concerned about that, partially because cloud gaming is very big in the EU.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies over there that give different options for cloud gaming. Kind of weird here for us because that's not a thing that has ever really took off here. There are ways to do it now, but most of them suck, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
We're waiting on their response. I just thought it was kind of interesting news, and then I'm gonna take this image, I'm gonna send it to you, and I'll put it up on screen for chat of their slideshow image they made because I think it's hilarious. That's why.
Yeah, that's not Microsoft.
Why do that? You could have at least put like Halo on there or WoW or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at with that right now. Nothing really more to say on it, I guess, till we find out more. But they were concerned that Activision games would wind up exclusive cloud-wise through Game Pass.
Yeah.
Streaming. But Microsoft has already said before they have no intention to make Activision Blizzard games exclusive to Game Pass. So I don't know if that's just them covering to make sure they get that stipulation in there and approved.
I think, well, Microsoft got kind of tricksy with when it got Bethesda.
That's true.
About what it was going to do. Because what they said originally is not quite what they ended up saying.
That's
after
true.
They got it.
That's true.
So I'm sure that's, anybody who's in the know, I'm sure that's in their mind.
Yeah. We shall see how that unravels.
Yeah.
Next up, for the news, I have a really fun one in my mind. This is Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to use the abbreviation because we need the space. Is the second best-selling game in EU history.
Okay.
For Nintendo.
The EU's not that old.
Right.
So,
and it's specifically for Nintendo.
Yeah. So I don't know if I go back to there's in the history of gaming as far as Nintendo goes, there are a lot of games that were released before the EU was formed.
Right.
So that's a nice sounding thing to say. Thinking through it, I don't think it means that much. I mean, good for Tears of the Kingdom. Glad it's going off.
What I find really interesting here is the numbers they gave with this. So, top 10 for the last week in the EU. Number 10 was Minecraft Legends.
Okay.
Number 9 was Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. That game, and really the Switch in general, hit at just the,
right,
a bad time in the world, but a great time for a game that would let you, kind of communicate with others and everything.
But this is sales from last week, not sales for all time. This is specifically last week, which is what I find so interesting about that.
Yeah.
Number 8 is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I don't know if people bought the wrong one or just they hadn't played that one yet and were like, hey, the new one's coming. I better get it quick.
Well, this goes into, we don't have anything unredacted about the consoles, right?
No.
Switch console? Okay. The Switch is in a weird position right now. Okay? Now, they released the Switch OLED, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a prettier screen.
Right.
There's nothing else hardwired. But the Switch, if we were doing like a normal console generation, Switch is past due for a new thing. But, I think their count for last year was still like 10 million.
I don't doubt
Switch units sold.
I don't doubt it.
Great little console. You know? And so Nintendo, and I was reading from one of the creative directors there. He's saying we're kind of in a weird position. because we were thinking when the Switch came out, we would be making a new console.
Yeah.
But we don't want to, we don't want to squash something that's obviously still popular.
Right.
It's
a bad spot to be in.
Yeah. It's a bad, good spot. You don't have to change any hardware or anything. You give it a pretty screen. You're still selling to a million. I don't know if it's the best selling Nintendo system of all time.
I think that's probably still the Wii, if I had to guess.
So, and see, that's another thing about hearing about Nintendo Switch talk about making, the next generation of the Switch. It's like, I remember the Wii U.
Yeah.
The Wii was great.
Yeah.
For what it was, what it did, and everything.
Well, why did you do that when the Wii U did it?
It was horrible, That they lost money on that.
Yeah.
But the Switch is still going strong. They honestly, I don't see why, just up your processing power a little bit.
Yeah.
Some of the components inside. I don't think they need to make a new system, really.
They could just do like they did with the 3DS, made it a little bit stronger and said, here's the new 3DS.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was so confusing. I worked for a gaming store at the time. That was so confusing on the back end. Yeah, here's the new 3DS.
Yeah. Well, the Switch came out in 2016. So it was almost 8 years old.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
It's time to boost it up a little.
Like I said, and they talk about the confusion with that as you're talking about there was a lot of confusion with the Switch OLED.
Yeah.
People were expecting more processing power.
Yeah.
More storage. I think it does have more storage.
It does, but not by a lot.
Yeah. I think it does have more storage, but it's not a new console.
Right.
I don't know.
So I still have a few more to get through this week, and then I have a lot of really interesting info to give you here.
Okay.
But for the last week, sales-wise, number 7 was Super Mario Odyssey. Still doing really well, apparently. Yeah. Number 6 was Dead Island 2.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah, okay.
Number 4 was
FIFA. Just got through with its season passes.
Yeah, it did.
Didn't it?
Did. Yeah. Number 4 was FIFA 23. I would have expected that to be a lot higher, to be honest.
I don't think because of system requirements. I don't think a lot of people who are serious about FIFA, and like there's some people out there who are very serious about FIFA.
Right.
They're not going to be playing on that system.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're going to play on the Switch.
That's fair.
Because they're going online for hardcore competition.
But I don't think this is just counting Switch sales at this point, because Dead Island 2 and a couple of the other games we're going to mention aren't even on Switch,
Okay.
But
okay.
I don't know that, though. They could still just be counting the Switch sales.
I'm sorry. I was thinking it was just Nintendo games for some reason because second best. Okay.
Well, to help with that, number 3 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Okay.
Number 2 is Hogwarts Legacy. And number 1 is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, here's where we get to the really interesting numbers and things like that. I have a list of the 10 best-selling UK and EU Zelda games.
Okay.
Number 10, I'm going to do that. Would you like to guess what you think the 10th best-selling UK and EU Zelda game is?
Number 10?
Hmm?
All 10 are Zelda games.
Yeah, these are all 10 Zelda games.
Whoa.
Link to the Past, you think's number 10, Faith?
That was kind of when I was leaning. I was going to go with that or either that or Majora's Mask. I'm going to go with Link to the Past.
Okay. Number 10 is The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker.
That's interesting. Okay.
Now, because they included the UK in here, numbers get really weird. Just want to don't expect the numbers you've already heard to make any sense.
Right.
Number 9. What do you think number 9 is?
Twilight Princess.
Skyward Sword. The Wii exclusive. I guess it was on GameCube a little bit. But,
that game got released early. That was supposed to be an original Switch title.
Yep.
They put it out before. Yeah.
What do you think number 8 is?
Oh, man. After those two guesses, I got no idea. Maybe that one's A Link to the Past.
So remember how I said because they included the UK, it threw everything off? Number 8 is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That's how much it didn't sell in the UK, apparently.
Gotcha. Okay.
What about number 7?
Breath of the Wild?
Right? It's the Switch version of Link's Awakening, the Link's Awakening remake.
Mm.
We think number 6 is
Triforce Hero.
Ocarina of Time 3D for the 3DS.
Okay.
Number 5?
No idea about them.
Phantom Hourglass for the DS. One of the worst selling Zelda games. What?
Yeah.
Number 4, you can guess. You're not going to get it. I'm just telling you right now.
Wind Waker.
Link's Crossbow Training. What? What?
All right, if you say so.
Number 3 is the original Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Number 2 is Twilight Princess.
Okay, great game.
Number 1 is Breath of the Wild.
Wow, yeah.
So I have 2 more sets of charts here for you.
I don't see how the second Legend of Zelda 2 did. I don't see how that didn't make it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right? The biggest Nintendo UK launches, not counting the EU. In the emotional damage, yeah. Ever. These are the biggest launches, not the most selling ever. Biggest launches. Tears of the Kingdom is the 4th biggest launch. The 3rd is Wii Fit and Balance Board. The 2nd is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and the 1st is Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
And then the last chart I have for you here is the biggest launches for week 1 revenue. This is the one that it's the 2nd best selling of, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon Sun and Moon was number 4.
Okay.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was number 3.
Right.
Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was number 2. Would you like to guess what number 1 is?
Metroid Prime.
It's the Wii Fit and Balance Board combo! Woo! How? What?
You say so.
Oh yeah, that's all those numbers there. I thought they were really interesting. It's weird. I wish I had that kind of data for all around the world. I think that would be fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, tell me which one sold best in Brazil and Peru and Australia.
That would just all be soccer games for Brazil.
I want just the Zelda games, though. Like, which ones did they buy the most of?
Right. Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask is very good.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
All right. I have 2 more pieces of news for you. They're both redacted.
Yeah, I have no idea.
We don't talk about this company much, but this one we had to talk about.
Okay.
Blizzard has canceled Overwatch 2's PvE.
I thought that's pretty much all Overwatch 2 was, that PvP.
So, Overwatch 2 has launched early, right? With just the PvP modes.
Okay.
Because they were making Overwatches 2. I should just put, you're right. I should just put Overwatch 2. I did type very quickly. It should be 2's PvE. Thank you. The whole reason they launched Overwatch 2 at all, the only reason they announced it, was to add PvE modes. Because they said they couldn't just add them to Overwatch 1. They would have to remake the game.
Okay. I thought it was a selling point.
Yeah, that was the main goal. They launched it early, free to play, as compared to the first one originally having a price tag for the PvP, and they were going to add the PvE later. Well, it's been a couple years, and they put out a thing in their roadmap saying, hey, there's the oof, hey, we can't do that anymore. So we're just not gonna.
Yeah.
And so instead what they're going to do is add like seasonal missions that you can run against AI. But it's not the full hero mode they announced originally. It's nothing close to that. You're not going to have skill trees you fill out like they originally announced. It seems like they just killed it.
Well, this is the second thing that I think I read this week that Blizzard's canceled because they just walked back a bunch of their nerfs.
Yeah.
For the Necromancer on Diablo 4, didn't they?
Yeah. It feels really weird to me to go, hey, we're making a sequel to this game.
Yeah.
So we can add story to it because we got to remake the engine. And then the new one comes out and it doesn't look that different. In some ways it looks worse. And then like a year into it, they go, oh, by the way, we can't do that, actually. We don't have the staffing to do that anymore. And we kind of haven't been working on it, and so we're killing it. Like, what do you mean you haven't been working on it? That's what you told us you've been working on this whole time.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know. That's Blizzard.
And credit to the articles, to the interviewers that interviewed them on that, because there have been a couple different articles that come out that basically just called on. So, you mean the thing you promised is just not happening? Well, that's not the way we like to look at it. We think the perspective is this, that we intended to do it, but we couldn't fulfill that vision. So we're instead focusing the team's vision on making the game better. The game would have been better if you had added the thing you told us all you were going to make.
Yeah.
I don't want to play Overwatch 2.
They'll probably just sunset the PvE anyway.
Yeah. So people are understandably upset. They've put a lot of money into this game, buying skins and stuff that they thought, because they were told originally they'd be able to play PvE with, they'd be able to use in PvE if they didn't like PvP. So they've got season passes and stuff just to be able to unlock skins that they can use in the PvE mode that now isn't coming. So not only did they waste their time, they wasted their money.
Yeah.
They're not going to get any of that back. So
we haven't talked about Blizzard in a while. It seems like we get back to talking about it, and it's par for the course.
Yep. If you had asked me what company did this, I would have told you it was Blizzard.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's like, look, you make Bethesda look good.
Yeah. How do you do that?
You know? I mean, if it wasn't for Blizzard and the Bethesda gripes, I don't really seem that big.
Right.
But, for a company that size and what they say and, all that and the way they act, but golly, man.
Yeah, at least Bethesda didn't go, hey, we were going to add a single player mode to Skyrim, but, we decided not to. Which it doesn't align with our vision anymore.
Yeah. We were going to put it in, but we got too busy looking at pics.
Yeah.
That somebody had taken.
Yeah. So, that's where that's at. And if I'm actually really curious, let me pull this up. What is the Overwatch 2 player numbers? Did it drop?
I hope so. But I understand if people put money into it, doesn't, want to. No, I'm gonna get my money's worth.
Right.
As much as I can.
All right, so at the start of the month, they averaged 1,743 players a day.
Okay.
As of end of the month, they're at 171,000 active players right now.
Okay.
That's a pretty substantial drop.
Yeah.
They made their bed, now they get to lie in it. No, actually they lied the first time. I think that's what gets me about it all. The idea of, well, we haven't been working on it, so we're going to kill it. When that's what they said they were working on this whole time? So what have they been doing?
I don't know. I'm starting. Look, stockholders are going to get involved. I mean, last time it was just a massive sell-off. They lost a lot of value in the company.
Yeah.
But stockholders are going to start getting pissed off. Because you can't you can lie like that to customers, and everybody's like, "Well, dadgummit, they just did." But
Yeah,
you lie like that to stockholders, it's illegal.
right.
So, which is one of them got to get involved.
There's a prevailing theory among some Overwatch 2 content creators that have quit the game because of this.
Yeah.
That the idea of, well, then why did they even launch a new executable and remake the game if they weren't going to add the PvE? And, well, when they relaunched the game, they added battle passes and new ways to spend real money to get stuff.
Yeah.
And so that is the prevailing theory, is that they never actually intended to add a PvE, and that was just an excuse so they could add battle passes like Fortnite had.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. All right.
I do have some good news, though.
Okay.
To bring us back up. I've been trying to sandwich it now.
Right.
Give us some good news. Steam has a new feature. Steam is adding 90-minute trials.
Like a 90-minute game demo?
Uh-huh.
That's not a bad idea.
So, the 2-hour refund policy is like a well-known and well-memed thing, but it does work, right? Buy a game, if you don't like it within 2 hours, or if you decide within 2 hours that you're done with it, or if you beat it, you can refund it, and almost always they'll give you your money back.
Right.
However, there is one big flaw to that, which is you have to have the money to buy the game first.
Yeah.
What this new demo system will allow you to do with the 90-minute trials is try a game without ever having to make a purchase.
Yeah.
And if you then decide to buy it, you can just continue from where you were.
That, I don't know, that seems like a good deal to me. I think it's definitely good news.
It's only available for one game so far, but they just launched it, 10 hours ago.
Okay.
And the only game that has it right now is the Dead Space remake.
Okay.
But I'm sure they'll be adding it to more games as they go. The question was raised, hey, will they add this to games that are less than 90 minutes? I don't know. That's a very good point. I would probably figure no.
Yeah, but like less than 90 minutes for who?
Right, because you can spend a lot longer than that in a game that you can beat in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's the Final Fantasy victory music. It is. I think this is just straight a win for PC gamers. This is a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, I want to try this game before I buy this game. As compared to, I want to buy this game and the money's out and I didn't like it, or it didn't run for me, and now I have to wait 2 days to get the money back.
Yeah. That's funny. I didn't have to wait for 2 days for you to take it out of my account.
Right. A lot of people are getting like weird about this, is maybe the way to put it, where they're like, well, they're only doing this because they have to pay the refund fees. Like, even if that is the case, this is still a good thing? What are you mad about? Why are you mad?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sound alerts are really low? Uh-oh, they shouldn't be.
What?
They should still be the same volume they have been. Let's check.
Well, in the meantime, Link's very good at basketball, right? He got a killer hook shot.
Felt like that was coming.
Emotional damage.
I think that was louder than it normally is. It was very loud on my. Oof is at full volume.
We'll have while he's trying to figure that out, I'll point out that there's going to be a collaboration between Legend of Zelda and Where's Waldo. It's going to be called The Missing Link.
You're full of those tonight, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what the princess told him when he couldn't get the door open, right?
No, what's that?
Try force.
Oh, I see. Let me try the victory one again real quick and see if it works.
Try it out.
I think it might just be that one that's really quiet.
Oh. Well, you know where Zelda finds her heroes, right?
Where?
LinkedIn.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Watch out, bearded
Yeah.
man. Yeah, see,
Come on,
chat,
Trey.
I'm confused because they're plenty loud for me.
Slow down,
Retake.
Will.
And I've got the desktop audio's all the way up, chat, like it normally is. I don't know why they're quieter for you.
Retake was too soft. Retake is softer than slow down, Will.
Yeah, I mean, I recorded them all myself, but they're all still going to be different based on the mic, when I record them. It's not... I equalize them as best I can, chat. I'm not an audio engineer.
Compressor, sir.
I'm doing my best. I am absolutely sure that I am not an audio engineer.
You can use a compressor, keep consistent volume.
Yeah.
So you scream or whisper, depending,
Yeah.
how hard you push it.
Okay.
There's a speaking of compressors, this is great. So a guy band was in a recording studio, first time in the recording studio. A guy was in the singing vocal booth.
Okay.
Rocking the vocal booth. And he was standing there really quiet, very nervous to be in there. The most expensive microphone he's ever seen, of course. I've never been a professional radio like this. And he can hear the vocal, the engineer, recording engineers, tells him, just check this out. I want you to do something. Can you hear that little sound? Okay, yeah. Like, yeah, that's you blinking. I'm picking that up.
Yeah. Nice.
Go ahead and scream in the microphone. The dude was like, yeah, no.
Right.
We'll pick it up. I blinking, then, but he screamed in it, and it was around the same volume.
Yeah.
As his.
I know why they're low.
Oh yeah.
Because the noise suppression.
Oh, okay.
Let me turn that off, chat. Tell me if Rungren is too tinny.
So it changes my.
Because I can turn it back on, but that's exactly why. See, watch, if I retake or Kira Cry, it's going to be much louder now. I forgot, because I don't hear that, chat. I've been hearing regular audio the whole time.
Retake.
Gotcha.
I will replay the Kira Cry for you, because you spent your points on it.
Hopefully it sounds better. Hopefully
Yeah, so
figured out.
Just real quick, Rungren is using a different setup than he was before, and trying to get everything fixed up there. And so it's not his fault, but there's some extra tinniness that was coming through. So I turned on a noise suppression to remove that, and I forgot that would also affect sound alerts because it all comes through the desktop audio. Anyway, that's where we're at there. If Chad, if you're not having a problem with him, then we'll keep it like this.
Okay, good deal.
Let's throw it over to Rungren's corner.
Okay. All right, as normal, we start off with a birthday, and today is Megan Fox's birthday.
Okay.
She has a birthday today. Yeah. So hopefully she's out partying and having a good time and not making another Transformers movie.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she's busy right now with her party, and she'll probably catch this on the weekend.
Yeah,
I'm sure she watches. That doesn't comment or anything, but I'm sure she watches. What's that? All right, I got a see if I can get this straight. Hold on, give me just a second.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get this sent to you. I want to see.
I've been waiting for this.
Yes.
I have been waiting for this. Okay.
Okay. I'll give you a second to get that up, and then I will explain.
All right.
Okay. I want everybody to still real. Okay.
It should all be the normal volume now, but I will see what I can do for that.
Okay. Let me explain this picture. So what you're seeing there is beside a creek called Iresick Brook.
Okay.
It's Woolbridge, New Jersey. And that is hundreds and hundreds of pounds of pasta that was dumped, which nobody knows who dumped it. It was just came across it. The workers in Old Tower Bridge found 15 wheelbarrow loads of illegally dumped pasta along the creek in the residential neighborhood. It was a variety of pasta. It looked like mostly spaghetti there, but there was spaghetti from spaghetti to macaroni. It was all different kinds. Just mounds of it sitting along. There's a wooden bank, this wooded bank by this little brook. It would be funny if if it wouldn't, if it didn't throw the residents off so much.
Right.
Kind of very very confused about how it would do that. But it's been labeled Pastagate. It actually leads into something a little bit serious for this town, because they haven't had because I just lived there for 23 years, but they do not have bulk garbage pickup.
Okay.
And actually, it's been a point of contention at the time, for the 23 years that she's lived there. And the person who's saying this, I'll try to do his last name, Jochnowitz. She's an environmental, Nina Jochnowitz. She's an environmental activist. She was a township council candidate on that, and she was on that. And she said her initial reaction was she thought it was kind of funny and humorous, and it kind of set in. It's a little bit mortifying.
Right.
The only good thing is that it is food, so maybe maybe it won't be too bad, but there is a potential of contamination for the river that goes down. Now, Trey, you're rather low.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I don't know.
We'll try to get through that.
Yeah, I pulled the mic closer. That's the best I can promise you.
Okay. Now, there's been varying reports. We can't get a straight answer of whether it was cooked or dumped, or if it just immediately became soft from the rainfall.
Right.
But it did work out to several hundred pounds of pasta. It doesn't look like it was there for a very long time before it was found.
Okay.
The agency, the people who had to clean it up, there was a couple of folks from the Public Works Department. It took them a little over an hour with shovels and wheelbarrows. It became known as Mission Impossible to get it done. But I think it was aggravating me. If whoever dumped this out there, that's not a cool thing to do, right?
Right.
There's plenty of other things that can be done with this pasta. If it was in its driest form, it'll last a really long time before going in any kind of bad or whatever. And the thing is, and I'm not justifying dumping this much food beside a brook, in just a dumping ground, right? The dumping ground. But if the person who had all this needed to hire somebody to come get it and take care of it, that had to hire a private firm, and they cost hundreds of dollars.
Oof.
So they could. Not, like I said, I'm not justifying it, but I'll try to be understanding to the person who dumped it. Obviously this is not, they didn't go out and pour diesel all through that, or put out some kind of toxic waste or something like that. Yeah. Didn't wreck a train in East Palestine.
Right.
The things like that. But yeah, well, the more I read into it, I was more like trying to find out how these residents would have to do, what the residents would have to do to get rid of this.
Right.
Or somebody, a private firm, pay them hundreds of dollars just to go dump this.
Yeah.
It comes less and less surprising that somebody done this. Now, the police department is looking for who is responsible. And the only lead they have right now is there was a man whose mother lived in the neighborhood who passed away.
Yeah.
And apparently she might have had all this pasta in her pantry.
I got you.
Pasta, and he had nothing to do with it.
Right.
But I want to point this out because when I first saw it, when the picture popped up, it was the first thing I saw, and my brain immediately went, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
When
No, for sure. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, is this living? Are these worms?
Yeah, I thought it might have been ant mounds of some
Ant mounds?
weird kind.
Yes, yeah, these kind of weird ant mounds. Yeah. Is it an art installation of some kind?
Right.
I don't know. Do that. And look, I realize it's fun to dump on New Jersey, but don't actually do it, okay?
Right.
There's people that live around there. There's a water supply right there. This is not healthy. And I don't know if there's enough. And actually, I don't know. I think pasta might be bad for birds.
I think,
like bread.
I think it is.
You know?
So, chat, here's the breakdown. I can tell you exactly what's going on with the audio, chat. I balanced the audio around the noise-suppressed Rungrit. So we were equal then. When I turned off the noise suppression, it made him louder. Now I sound quiet in comparison. I can turn that back on. Your sound alerts won't make sense, but we'll be balanced. Or I can turn the sound alerts down a little bit, and we'll be closer to balanced. Or we can just leave it as it is, and then, we're not quite balanced. But it's going to all work out either way. So that's that. You got options, chat. I'm choosing to leave it as it is right now. But
I'm not gonna mess with it. All right.
Yeah. No,
this is weird.
Thrown off by that for sure.
Well, it was a little bit strange because around New Jersey, New York, a couple of the big cities beside water, which a lot of big cities are beside water. That's the reason they became big cities in the first place.
Right. Yeah.
It's not uncommon for people to find bicycles in the water. It's a common occurrence.
Yeah.
That a bike ends up in the water. Do that, but not pasta.
Right.
Not hundreds. I get. I'm trying not to be too self-righteous. It's like there's hungry children everywhere.
Yeah.
Feed them. I know it's about to go bad because this probably may be one of the biggest wastes of food I've ever seen.
I just feel like if it wasn't already cooked, I'm assuming it was not cooked pasta.
Yeah.
Beforehand. I know it wasn't beforehand, but when it was dumped. And so surely you could have just put it into trash bags at that point. Like if you're not going to give it to a shelter or to a food pantry or something like that, surely you can at least just put it in trash bags and throw it away.
Right. They estimated the weight to be close to 400 pounds of pasta.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah. The good news is there doesn't seem to be. They found in time that they can't record any contamination of the water. They can't say that it didn't happen. Nothing's got down there to it. But it seems that there's no contamination of the water. So
well, that's good.
It seemed okay.
That's good at least.
Yes. Oh my god! You can't get over the picture. Here, hold on.
I'm gonna stop looking at this picture now.
Let me. I almost said you one more.
Okay.
Put up just a little bit. Yeah.
Oh,
get a little bit closer shot.
Oh boy.
which yes, just a good close up so you can actually see there's some what is that, penne pasta, macaroni.
Yeah. It's a bunch of different kinds for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. The picture enough was for me to go like, hey, somebody else needs to see this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. It's like my brain's going, are you sure you're seeing what you're seeing?
It doesn't compute. Yeah.
No. It doesn't. It's a strange little thing. And of course, there's all been, like Mission Impossible.
Right.
With Pastagate. There's been quite a few. It was funny because each joke is also balanced with in the same sentence, cause for concern.
Yeah.
With it. But I'd like to say thank you to Fernando Alfonso III, because he's the one that wrote the story, brought it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
You know, don't dump that much pasta in the woods.
Right. Please.
Anywhere.
Please.
Not even if it's in Jersey. Just don't do it. And I think it's really interesting that because the activists, like I said, the activists come forward and they're upset. It's like, look, we need bulk, big garbage pickup. We need, we have bulk garbage. We need to have that pickup. We don't have it here.
Absolutely.
And that's where the activists are talking about. That's what they're going towards. They're upset, obviously, that it's out there, but it's like, okay, there's an easy solution to this.
Right.
Y'all need to take care of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which they also said, look, it's pasta, not garbage. So, well,
that's true.
Silver lining, I guess.
Yeah. It could be worse, but it also could be a lot better.
I just need everybody, in the years to come, you'll be able to say, I remember Pastagate.
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures, and it was mortifying.
Man. All right. Well, let's get into your assignment.
All right.
And then I do have, as we get into plugs, I do have a hey, here's a big piece of news that just got sent to me. It's not going to be like a long discussion or anything, but it's something we need to make sure we mention. So, had some technical difficulties last week. Might have forgotten to check and see if a controller was required for a game. So, didn't get to have one.
I did try to get one working.
No, I know you did. I know.
Yeah, I know.
Just unfortunately didn't quite work out. So that game is being removed from the rotation.
Yes.
But we have 3 new games tonight. Chat, as usual, please do not tell Rundgren what is up there. Just say 1, 2, or 3. I'm almost done with the poll now. And there you go. Poll is up, chat.
All right.
Let's see what wins.
I have no idea what's going to be picked. I'm a little bit nervous.
So while this is happening, this just got sent to me. Metro Last Light Complete Edition is going to be free on Steam from the 18th, which is Thursday, to the 25th, celebrating the 10th anniversary of that game. So,
okay,
you are at all curious in that, it's free. Check it out, but only for 7 days. So,
vaguely remember that game.
Right,
first person. I remember going the subway.
You use ammo as currency.
Yeah.
Need to move the third game. People can't see it.
It's been a long time since I saw that game. I even thought about that game. I think it was kind of a big deal, though, when it did come out.
Yeah, it was. People can now see the third game better. I thought it would be more visible behind the chat, but it was not. So sorry about that, chat. I've also brought Rundgren down volume-wise in Discord, so we should be a little bit closer to parity now. Should be a little bit more balanced.
We shall see.
But, if I'd known I wasn't going to have that on the whole time, then I would have done it different to begin with.
Yeah, we had an OBS update.
We shall see.
Last week. I actually messed with some of the audio settings too, so we're getting used to that as well.
Yeah, I think that might be causing some of the problem with disappointed being quieter than it should be, and some of the alerts being quieter. I've gone back through and changed to increase the volume on sound alerts itself and trigger fire, try and balance that out. Okay. But we are almost at a tie. And when I say almost, we're at a tie. So we're going to have to run another vote as a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Because nobody voted on YouTube to be able to break the tie. So time for a new poll.
All right.
And starting up that new poll now.
All right. Let's do it.
We shall see who wins. And I'm going to take the one off on screen that did not.
Okay. Didn't make it.
Yeah.
Do you have any plugs while we're waiting on the votes there?
Yeah. I wanna highlight. We don't talk about this channel a lot because we don't talk about science channels a lot. But Kyle Hill on YouTube, makes some really good content.
Yeah.
just did a really interesting video about what we thought was like a radiation scare that happened live on social media. It was
some people were saying it was fake, and some people were saying it wasn't.
Yeah, and he does a really good breakdown where he finds out all the information and tells us at the end whether it is or not. I won't spoil that video, but go check it out. It's pretty good stuff.
All right.
How about you? Any plugs?
Yeah, I'd like to. I need to plug the Y-Files.
Okay.
And specifically Hecklefish. Everybody should have a Hecklefish. Know who that is? If you ever hear me scream lizard people, or that it's from that.
Okay.
He does a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff, but he does a lot of research on the conspiracy theories, try to get all angles on it, and at the end of it, he goes, "Okay, so this part of it, that's obviously false. That's
right,
and he goes through and he breaks it down.
Yeah,
and he lets you know, hey, we don't know one way or another,
right,
on certain things, but he tells it when he explaining conspiracy, he goes in like he's like a true believer going in telling the story,
right,
and then he plays skeptic at the end and fills it in. And honestly, if you want more information, like I know there's like the hollow moon theories, but the moon is hollow,
right?
Scientifically, we know that, and he goes into it. He got a really good video on that and some other things, but he's very entertaining. He used to be a radio DJ. Got a good setup. Very entertaining. Good story. Good storytelling.
Okay. Poll has ended. Tie has been broken. We have a winner. Tomorrow you will be going back to the Beast Inside.
Beast Inside. Okay. God, I don't even remember where I'm at the game. But we'll figure it out. We will figure it out.
All right. Well, let's close out here with outro. I'm sure it will be. We've already talked about plugs. The first episode of Gundam Myth went up today. So that's Wilder Myth with Gundam characters. Hopefully people really enjoy that. I really enjoyed it, so we're going to keep making it either way. Then probably be a video. I'm going to probably record it shortly after this. I'm going to grab a bite to eat and then record it. I have some, unfortunately, pasta left over from earlier that I don't know that I want to eat now. But after that, I'm going to record a video for Tears of the Kingdom, which will probably come out in the next couple days. So good stuff coming.
Right on.
And then, of course, tomorrow you'll be playing The Beast Inside.
Yes.
Then we have Thursday, we have Russian mythology.
Yeah.
The TTRPG podcast.
For the folks who'll maybe be there Thursday, listen tonight. Russian mythology is obviously everywhere you go, it's a little bit different. A lot of things, similarities and stories and all that. Talked about it a little bit, but Russia's really big, so I kind of lean more into the Slavic side of it.
Yeah.
There's kind of more like Asian myths when you start moving over and up to some that, like when you get way over to the west of Siberia, is like almost Native American.
Yeah.
In some ways. So I want to try I stuck to like one thing, and there is I got like 40 different creatures, 5 swords. It should be a great it should be a great show.
Awesome.
And really interesting things. And some of it's going to sound very familiar.
I'm sure.
I think. And some of it I knew came from the area, and some of it was like, oh, okay, that's Russian. Okay.
Right.
It came through. And it's got nothing at all to do with the politics. This is about the people.
That's right.
And the stories that were handed down through generations.
Then Friday we'll be building the GM cardigan. Hopefully everybody looks forward to that. I've been looking forward to building it for a long time. And Monday we'll be back with Immo Mondays with Lotro.
Yes.
We'll have another podcast next week.
Yep.
I think that's everything.
Yes.
All right then. Well, until next time, I've been Trey.
I have been Rungren.
And this has been the Full Spectrum Podcast.
Rungren?
Really? I was like this close, Will. We're about to shut down.
Almost there.
Almost made it.
Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. That life and Rungren having to hurry up and his bacon burning has to offer.